my name's Annabelle Sami. I'm an author and today I'm going to read to you from my new book, Llama Out Loud. This is a story about Yasmin Shah, a 10-year-old girl who's very shy. She likes peace and quiet, but unfortunately for her, Levi, a talking toy llama, who is also a cockney, decides to come into her life and cause utter chaos. And she tries everything she can to get rid of him, but he doesn't really seem to want to go. And it might be that he has a plan to try and help her find her voice. So, here is the extract. So this is from when Yasmin has just found Levi in her cupboard. She's come upstairs to her room because she had a fight with her parents at her birthday dinner. Yasmin got up and walked over to her mirror. She looked into the glass with such a severe expression she nearly scared herself. Finally, she closed her eyes and with all the brain strength she could muster, she made a wish. I wish I could stand up for myself. With her eyes closed, she listened out to hear if the shouting downstairs had died down. What she heard instead was a thud, coming from inside the cupboard. And another, and another. Yasmin stared at the cupboard door. Where was the knocking coming from? The cupboard fell silent. The noise from downstairs now seemed muffled compared to Yasmin's own heavy breathing. She reached out and carefully knocked once on the wooden cupboard door. The air seemed to chill around her. After a moment, she heard the knocking coming from inside again. Against her better judgment, Yasmin banged harder. The knocking from within the cupboard was louder this time. Something was definitely in there, a mouse or a rat, but Yasmin couldn't ask her parents to come and investigate. She was still too angry with them. She fetched her tennis racket from the corner of the room. Approaching the cupboard door on tiptoe, she closed her eyes, counted to 3, and then swung the cupboard open. "Oi, love, I'm having a kip here. Your stomping woke me up." In blind panic, Yasmin swung the tennis racket in the direction of the noise. "Ah! Watch it!" Yasmin slowly opened her eyes. She couldn't believe what she was seeing. It was, frankly, unbelievable. "Didn't your mum ever tell you it's rude to smack people with tennis rackets?" Yasmin blinked hard. Was there a talking toy llama in her cupboard? "Hello, anyone home?" the llama said. Yasmin remained frozen to the spot. "Right, well, I'm going to give myself a tour of the house," the llama said in a broad Cockney accent, getting up out of the pile of old socks it seemed to be using as a bed. Before it could escape, Yasmin slammed the door shut. Was she dreaming? Just to be sure, she pinched herself. Ow! She was definitely awake, and now her arm hurt. But she was pinching herself because there was a talking toy llama in her cupboard. And not just any talking toy llama. It was the gross talking toy llama from the market. It must have fallen out of her school bag earlier when she tossed it to the ground. "All right, love. I tell you what. Open up the cupboard and I'll explain myself," the llama said reasonably. "I don't want no trouble." Tentatively, Yasmin opened the cupboard door just a crack. It felt like there was a swarm of angry bees in her stomach. She put her eye to the gap and peered in. The llama laughed. "Come on." Yasmin opened the door an inch more. "That's it, I don't bite." The llama peered out at her. "But I do spit." With amazing precision, the llama aimed a perfect spray of matted fur fluff through the crack in the door, hitting Yasmin right on the nose. Seizing the opportunity, he jumped out of the cupboard and onto the desk, knocking off all her school books. The little trickster, Yasmin thought, wiping her face. "I'll show him." Grabbing her filled to the brim laundry basket, Yasmin catapulted across the room with a trail of dirty clothes flying in her wake. She barrel rolled across the bed like a cop in a Hollywood film and slammed the basket down, trapping the llama underneath. I want to be angry, but I'm actually quite impressed, the llama remarked from inside his new prison. Yasmin looked at him gruffly, putting her heaviest maths textbook on the top of the basket to keep it secure. She sat down on the bed to catch her breath and make sense of the situation. What? The llama asked cheekily. Cat got your tongue? Oh, I knew there was something I was supposed to mention. The cat did, in fact, have Yasmin's tongue, though not literally. In a world of talking toy llamas, it's probably best I'm clear about that. What I mean is, Yasmin didn't speak. Ever. In the last 7 years or so of her life, Yasmin had barely said a word. It's not that she didn't know how to speak. She did. It's just that she didn't want to. And for 3 very good reasons. Number 1, you've seen how loud her family is. It's a good thing this is a book and not a TV show, or you'd have a headache by the end. Number 2, when Yasmin first learned to speak, her brothers used it as yet another thing to tease her about. Every time she opened her mouth, they would burst into hysterics at the sound of her voice. They even started calling her Trombone, which, if you've ever heard a trombone, is a particularly unkind nickname. Number 3, the purple poo incident, to be discussed later. So, Yasmin kept quiet. It's not as if anyone noticed. She would have just been another voice trying her best to be heard over the dinner table. If she was going to speak, she wanted to be heard, to make an impact. So, just as she'd got the hang of talking at 3 years old, she gave it up, and she hadn't looked back since. Yay, I hope you enjoyed that extract. And now I would like to set you a little challenge if you'd like to partake. So I want you to write a diary entry imagining that you got home from school, you came upstairs, you opened your cupboard, and there was a talking toy inside. I want you to write your reactions, how you felt, what the toy said, and I would love to read them. So I really hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time.